Matchday Live. This is Radio Hereford FC, the home of the Bulls.
Anyway, we didn't make it to the...
we got
what was it
hijacked
again?
en route, isn't it?
The ship.
The ship, yeah.
We didn't make it to the ship. We are instead at the Royal Oak.
Yeah,
the
great
Royal
choice
Oak.
of beer, though, isn't it?
It's very good. And we stopped at the Royal Oak because we were walking past and we saw a Hereford shirt. So we thought, well, we'll come in and set up and see if we can persuade that Hereford shirt to have a word with us.
Yes,
but he's obviously got himself well ensconced at the bar, and he's just going to have another pint now. But maybe somebody can go and have a word, see if he'll come and have a chat with us for a couple of minutes.
Oh, I'd like to think so, yeah. I mean, intelligent person. We know this person, don't we? But if you can
apparently so. Apparently so.
Yeah.
So, who's going to tap the shoulder? Well, Keith is going to tap the shoulder.
Well done, that man. Yeah, it is a bit of a tragedy that we've run out of Dorset Knob in this particular pub, but...
Dorset Knob is a beer.
It is, and there isn't any
and
left.
it is 3.9%.
Yeah.
So we've had to have, there's either Humdinger, Flashman's Clout, or...
It's an eclectic mix, isn't it?
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Good evening. Now, we're obviously online at the moment. No, hang on. You keep those because you're the big conversation man. So Simon's going to keep his headset. But first of all, I'm just going to say to our guest here that we noticed as we were walking past the door, so we thought we've been going all around the pubs doing live broadcasts all evening, and we've come across a lot of Hereford supporters, and as we've gone into the pubs, we've said about stuff so we can have a word with them. But obviously, this is radio, so people can't see. So the first thing I'm going to ask you when I give you a headset is to say who you are, where you've come from today, and then Simon here, who I know is you've had a few, we'll have a chat with you. So I'm going to pass over now, and Simon will have a chat with you live to our audience of listeners. We still had 30 when we were over the road, so we still might have some on now. We are live. Just before I hand over, just to remind everybody out there, if you're listening, don't forget, we're going live tomorrow afternoon, 2:20 from Weymouth. Weymouth versus Hereford. Greg Davis and Jamie Griffiths will be your commentary team. Joni and I will be there to cause havoc and mayhem and probably lose internet connection signal and so on. But we'll bring you live commentary from Weymouth tomorrow afternoon in the Evo Stick Premier. But I'm going to hand you over now to our guest and to Simon Wright, and our guest will introduce himself.
Whoa, a bit of shuffling of headphones going on there. Yeah. Go on, special guest, introduce yourself. Go for it.
These headphones are hot. What the hell?
I know, they've been in a lot of hot heads all night, I'm afraid, but there you go.
Hi, my name's Graham Johnson. I live in Shrewsbury.
We always have a sort, Frank and I always have a sort of empathy with exiles, because we sort of understand the extra problems that involved in supporting Hereford. Shrewsbury, I guess that's probably quite straightforward to get to Hereford from. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, it's nice and easy. It's only an hour down on the train.
Yeah. Away games, a bit of a pain?
Away games, actually, from Shrewsbury are not too bad this year, because you can usually find a better train route going via Birmingham than you can from Hereford.
Now, it must be said, I think Graham is probably the #1 train expert. You put yourself up for that role and you come up with some really, really interesting stuff. I mean, Royston, for instance, nobody else would suggest going via the Bedford to Bletchley line.
Oh, yeah, no, that's a good one. Yeah, no.
I mean, train buffs would love that line. Well, in fact, they do love that line. It's nationally famous, you know. It goes through, well, basically farmyards.
It's also good if the
closed factories.
If the actual trains run.
Yeah, it is. It's
coming
really,
back from Bletchley to Bedford. The actual train was cancelled.
Gosh, so, well, before we lose our entire audience, Craig, do you want to tell us something about how about yourself as a Hereford supporter? I mean, how far back do you go?
Oh God, over 50 years now.
Do you really?
Yeah.
And dare we ask how old you are now?
Well,
in rough terms?
Nearly 62.
Oh gosh, well I quite like it now because that makes me feel very young. But
no, I got the bug when I was a little boy from Leominster. I used to go around with my uncle.
And you remember your first game?
Oh God, no.
No.
I can't even remember the last game. But,
oh dear. Well, I remember mine from 1970, so perhaps I'm quite unusual. So 50
well, I can remember the one big memory was Kings Lynn away. I mean, our great FA Cup year.
Oh, you remember that one?
Oh, right. We were going down the Primrose Bone Shaker. That's what we used to call it from Leominster. And,
gosh, how long did that take you, though? I mean, it's the end of the earth, Kings
hours
Lynn,
and hours. But we were getting down there, and all of a sudden, everything was great until we got to Norfolk, and then there was snow and ice.
No!
Couldn't believe it. We thought, oh, God. It was absolutely freezing, but no, I always remember that game.
I mean, that's really topical, considering, in November we may well be venturing over to Kings Lynn again, FA Trophy commitments permitting. I mean, what memories do you have of actually being at Kings Lynn?
Well, that was it, really.
That was it?
getting off the bus,
yeah.
and walking through ice and snow, and by the time you got to the ground, your feet were frozen, everything was frozen. God,
goodness
it was
me,
awful.
goodness me. So 50 years, so you must have been at the Newcastle game.
Yeah, we had a... So that was quite an experience, that was.
Well, I mean, I was there, but I was only 11. And
I actually prefer the West Ham game after. When we went down to London, and you couldn't believe what was...
You actually got into the ground?
I actually got into the ground, God knows how.
Whoa, that's impressive.
But there was there was loads of buses all along the road to the ground. We just got off from our Primrose Bone Shaker and just walked along, and I got in.
You got in?
I said my dad didn't get in, but... yeah.
So you got in and your dad didn't get in? I mean, we separated in the crutch.
Oh, yeah, we just sort of... Didn't see him till we got back on the bus, coming back, so...
He must have been a bit peeved that he... So you were inside and he was outside?
Yeah.
Me. I bet you never lived that one down, did you?
No. It was
but Jeff Hurst hat-trick?
Oh, hell of a... It was an experience.
Yeah. Goodness.
Just couldn't believe, as you're going along that road, the Hereford fans that were all sort of...
and that was midweek afternoon, though, wasn't it?
It was a 3-day week, wasn't it?
You must have got time off school?
Oh, well, I think all the schools closed.
Mine didn't. Mine didn't close.
I think Leominster closed. Anyhow, there was nobody. Everybody from Leominster went down.
It wouldn't be allowed now, though, would it? It would not be allowed. You'd close the school because there's a football match on. I love that sound.
Football's changed, though, now, isn't it? It's commercial now. It's not. It's not like
a different world. It's a different world. Now, earlier on, we were having a discussion. And I was actually saying, I'm not fussed about Hereford being in the Football League again, because I'm really enjoying football at a non-league level. I mean, what's your thoughts on that?
Well, it's been great. I mean, the last 2 years, I mean, the places we've been to, the way clubs have gone out to cater for us, putting on special, barbecues, beers, it's all been fantastic. But
the lack of segregation, the stewarding's low-key, that you can have a drink, prices are accessible, all those things really just make such a difference to me. And I'm thinking, Football League, 25 quid, segregated, something so serious. I thought, I don't really enjoy that anymore.
But you've got to aim for as top as you can. I mean,
of course you have.
It's nice, but I mean, it's... You've just got to aim higher and higher and higher, and hopefully you can get there.
Do you see promotion this year?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. By Christmas.
Playoffs or automatic? By Christmas.
By Christmas.
Oh, no, you don't mean that.
Champions by Christmas. We got to be. No, I mean it's obviously the start of the season was going to be awkward because you've got a new squad, new players haven't played. Then we've had the injuries. I think what you need to see is when you've got the players that Beatles have signed, how they perform. Yeah. And then if it's not going well, then changes would need to be made. Because I think promotion is a must this year. I think promotion, to keep the momentum going, we've got to go up this year.
Really? I mean, I think we may have discussed this on Facebook, but anybody any club getting 3 consecutive promotions is so rare. I think it's only ever been done 4 times. It's a big ask, and there are some very decent opposition clubs.
Yeah, I mean, we obviously, teams like Slough, for example.
Slough's the obvious one, yeah.
Well, we played them early on. We should have won that game.
Despite not having 11 fit players.
Despite not having the team out. So if you look at it that way, we should have won that game. And I think if we played Slough tomorrow, it would be a different result.
I think I touched on this Thursday night when I was recording with Frank about the AFC Hornchurch game. I mentioned that there was a Slough supporter got on the AFC website and said, Hereford are beatable. Well, yeah, I think we probably are beatable when we haven't got 11 fit players. But now, with a virtually full fit squad, I think we're going to really take some stopping.
Yeah, I mean, well, I'd say everyone's beatable.
Yeah, of course, on a bad day.
If everyone wasn't beatable, we'd never beat sort of Newcastle and so on. You just could never tell.
I think we're on top form at the moment, and there's so much competition for places. If you don't perform, there's somebody else who will come in and do that for you.
Yeah, I think Beadle's got a bit of a problem with, especially like Gary Preen, who's playing very well on the left at the moment. So unless he's going to move into the right and juggle it about, it's going to be difficult to play Adam Page.
Yeah, we want to play Pager because he's a local lad and he's so popular. But you're right. Do we play them both? Do we play Preen and Page?
Yeah, I mean, the only option is to play Page left, Preen right, and move Raphael. He's playing well at the moment. Move Raphael into the middle. But we still got Pablo to come in. I mean,
well, yeah, it's a delicious dilemma to have in a way. I mean, how many Step 3 clubs have that dilemma? Probably not very many at all.
You're talking about so many good players in the squad that with the team we could put out that we should be winning this league.
Yeah, I
think.
Yeah, I mean, I hate to think of it. Hate to think that people think we're arrogant, but we genuinely do have a good side. So there you go. But Graham, it's been absolutely brilliant to talk to you. Thanks ever so much for coming on and giving us your perspective. I think we're going to... Oh, hello, what's this coming in here? Oh, Stephen Fitzpatrick is asking how Graham ended up in Salop in Shropshire.
It's all because of my job, basically.
Oh, it's always the way.
Once I qualified from uni... got a job at the Royal Shrewsbury Hospital, and I've been there ever since. Well,
really?
In other sort of jobs up there. So,
you want to tell us about what you're doing in the hospital?
I can't reveal too many secrets.
Anybody in a hospital is doing a seriously worthy job.
I was up there for 10 years in the hospital, and then done other things up there since then. So, but it was all to do with my job. So, always been in the way.
Work gets in the way all too often, doesn't it? But yeah, brilliant. Thanks ever so much. I'm going to hand you back to young Frank now, who wants to have a word. Hang on.
I like the young bit, because I'm older than Graham. It's been lovely to have you along, Graham. I do apologise to our listeners out there. We did have an outage at one point during that interview, but we have recorded it, and we will be putting all our interviews tonight and all the things that we've done not all the things we've done in the pubs, because that actually would be against broadcasting rights. But we will get most of what we've done tonight up on YouTube in the next couple of days.
Matchday Live. This is Radio Hereford FC, the home of the Bulls.